This clip is a rare moment where Jordan Peterson is asked about his belief in Jesus' resurrection. Now, he outlines what he accepts about Jesus' resurrection while also indicating what he can't make sense of. Now, I'm going to play this clip, and there's a few dense bits in here, so hang in there. And then I'm going to outline the key error that Jordan Peterson's making that's stopping him from fully accepting the resurrection of Jesus. So let's jump in.
But the claim is so overwhelming and also so mysterious that I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what to make of the idea of the physical resurrection. It's complicated conceptually right within the confines of the Gospels themselves. I don't know what it means metaphysically. I understand what it means symbolically, and that's usually the approach I take, given that I'm a psychologist. I mean, I do believe that the part of the human being that leads us to redemption is the part of us that dies when it's in error and is reborn as something better and new. And I think that's true practically and scientifically and metaphysically. It's true at every level of existence. But I also don't know what it would mean to live that way fully. You know, if you were fully awake to your errors and fully taking advantage of every opportunity that was put before you and fully devoted to the good, to the highest good that you could conceptualize, I have no idea what the limit of transformation might be for a human being, because we're very mysterious creatures in a very mysterious world.
To understand the resurrection of Jesus, really, we've got to go back to the Old Testament roots of this belief. Now, in the Old Testament, we see that the belief in the resurrection arose during a time where the Jewish people were under intense religious persecution. Therefore, they believed that God would raise the dead in order to bring justice into the world. Therefore, the resurrection of the dead was the time or the moment where God would raise the dead in order to set the world right and in order to bring justice into particular situations. As Nickelberg states, resurrection is the eschatological act in which God brings the dead to life in order to recompense them for the righteous or sinful deeds that they committed during their lives. So therefore, the resurrection of Jesus is God's decisive action in the world to begin to renew and restore the created order and to bring God's justice and love into the world. As N.T. Wright says, the resurrection constitutes Jesus as the world's new sovereign, the Son of God, who claims absolute allegiance from everyone and everything within creation. He is the start of the Creator's new world, its pilot project. Indeed, its pilot. Now, as Christians, we're invited by God to participate in this restoring of the world by partnering with God to bring God's justice into our broken world. Now, Jordan Peterson states that he understands the resurrection of Jesus symbolically. That is, it is a cycle from death to rebirth. As he states,
the part of the human being that leads us to redemption is the part of us that dies when it's in error and is reborn as something better and new.
But this very symbolic understanding of the resurrection is the very problem. The resurrection of Jesus is not a typical death and rebirth cycle. Rather, it's God's decisive action to put the world right and to bring justice into the world. Now, this isn't the only time Jordan Peterson has made this type of error, as he says about Jesus' death.
You cannot write a more tragic story. It's impossible, technically. Why? Well, because it's a story of the aggregation of everything that people are afraid of.
Now, in this video, I explain how Jordan Peterson misunderstands the crucifixion of Jesus.